Okay, so I would like to zoom out for a moment and talk about coaching itself. So the career coach is a term that we hear like that gets thrown around a lot, but I don't think like everyone knows what it really means. So can you please like break it down for us and what exactly does a career coach do?
Sure. A career coach, well, they're going to ask you a lot of questions. That's probably the biggest thing, and it's so powerful. As a coach, helps you decide, like, discover where you are, where you want to go, and how to get there. That's really my job as a career coach is to help you figure that out, is to ask the right kind of questions, to give you the right kinds of discovery exercises to decide, like, okay, where am I at? Why am I here? How did I get here? Is there anything keeping me here? Obstacles or blockers that are keeping me here? What do I really, really want? And then what are the step-by-step actions that I can take to get there? And so coaches are going to help you with that. They're going to, like I said, they're going to ask you a lot of powerful questions so that you can dig in. I think sometimes job seekers kind of forget about how powerful they are and that they do have the answers. And so coaching is really built on the premises that the client has all the answers inside, and our job is to ask the right questions so they can discover the answers for themselves. It's so much more powerful when the client discovers the answer for themselves than when you give them the answer. And they also tend to have a lot of more buy-in and motivation when they discover the answer for themselves. Like, oh my gosh, that's so true. And now that's going to motivate me into the next step that I'm going to take. So that's a big one. Also, that accountability is a big piece, because I know that the clients that I work with sometimes will be like, well, I knew I was meeting with you today, so last night I finally got to what I was supposed to be doing, because they don't want to show up and me say, well, hey, what, like, so this is what you were working on from last session. What did it, tell me how it went? And they're like, I didn't get anything done. So I think that just that little extra inspiration and motivation and accountability is a big piece of it as well. And what else? We're going to provide strategy. So that step-by-step action plan, like, how do you move from where you are to where you want to be? And we realize that sometimes people don't know where they want to be, and that's part of the process. But once we do know, building out a strategy to help you take the steps to get there. And often, job seeking is not it's not often really good to your confidence. So it a lot of times a coach is going to help you remember who you are. We're going to look back at the wins and the things that you have accomplished, and you're going to remember, oh my gosh, you know what? I am really good at that. And way too many times, clients have come to me and they're like, I don't even know what I'm good at. And as I start asking questions and getting them to remember their wins and the impact that they've had, and it starts to build their confidence, and that makes a big difference. I do want to say there is also kind of a difference between a career coach and a career consultant. um, because coaches are more focused on asking questions and giving you action plans. They don't typically do the work for you. Whereas as a career consultant's going to do a little bit more on the side of maybe editing your resume a little bit more, or doing more teaching around LinkedIn and how to be more effective in your networking strategies there. So I like to say that I'm a coach consultant. Because I am going to ask all those questions. And once we get there, then I am going to start to provide some guidance. And coaches don't typically guide, they ask questions. And really, when you look at some of the certification platforms, they're very, very straight lined on, you don't give guidance or advice. You just ask questions, and then together you help the client make the plan, which is super valuable as well. But a consultant is going to provide a little more advice and guidance, um, a little more telling, a little bit of telling and asking. And so I think that that blend is important when you are considering, like, hey, what is a career coach and what kind of coach would be good for me?